Self-Regulated Strategies and Cognitive Styles in Multimedia Learning. Barbara Colombo, Alessandro Antonietti, Catholic University of the Sacred Heart, Italy. This chapter is a study in self-regulated learning through multimedia presentations, both auditory and visual video format. Participants were given the opportunity to ask for explanatory pictures if they needed more information to better understand the text. This chapter will show how participants, without full awareness, self-regulated their cognitive strategies according to presentation complexity. Multimedia is a multi-sensory interactive user experience which is defined as a combination of at least one continuous and one discrete medium. Moreover, multimedia facilitates an atonement duality, which means that multimedia is not only able to transfer information to a user, but also to provide the user with a subjective experiences. Humans have a natural ability to understand multimedia content, thus allowing a person to see, feel, and sense specific information with an enhanced understanding. For this reason, multimedia presentations have become popular tools for education, training, and development. And despite an increased focus on e-learning experiences, such applications often overlook the simple point that everyone is different. Stop here. You'll need some definitions to help you understand this presentation. Cognitive style versus metacognition. A body of research suggests that individual differences in cognitive style might significantly influence how one would learn from a multimedia learning environment. The first part of the research reviews cognitive styles. Then measurement of individual differences of cognitive style are discussed. And finally, self-regulation and its influence crucial to any learning environment. Cognitive style is a term used in cognitive psychology to describe the way an individual prefers to organize and process information when problem solving. Metacognition is, put simply, thinking about one's thinking, and more precisely, it refers to the processes used to plan, monitor, and assess one's understanding and performance. Kolb's learning theory sets out 4 distinct learning styles or preferences, which are based on the 4-stage learning cycle. In this respect, Kolb's model is particularly elegant since it offers both a way to understand individual people's learning style and also explains a cycle of experiential learning that applies to us all. Self-regulation, or self-regulated learning, is an active, constructive process whereby learners set goals for their learning and then attempt to monitor, regulate, and control their cognition, motivation, and behavior, guided and constrained by their goals and the contextual features in the environment. We know that learners adapt behavior based on their learning style. They are aware of distinctive features of multimedia presentations and can exert control over what they are doing through self-regulation. According to Wynn and Hardwin, self-regulation unfolds over 4 flexibly sequenced phases of recursive cognition. These phases are task perception, And that would be where students are gathering information about what they're going to do and personalizing it. Goal setting and planning, where they're setting their goals according to their motivation. Enacting, where students enact the plan they've developed by using study skills and other tactics they've used for their learning strategies. And adaptation, where students evaluate their performance and determine how to modify their strategy in order to achieve higher performance in the future. So this was an experiment, and the main thing that it was investigating was what type of level of self-regulation for learning strategies would apply to materials in audio and then in video format. What level of metacognitive awareness was underlying such strategies? What is the influence of self-regulation and metacognitive awareness on learning outcomes? And what is the influence of individual cognitive styles of self-regulation, metacognitive awareness, and learning outcomes? So, the experiment was started. It was done in a large Italian university, and there were 24 university students who participated in the study. So the study was where they had two presentations. One was audio and the other was video. One was about how invisibility cloak works. The other one was how to change frets on a Renaissance lute. Each presentation was divided into 16 sections, and each section had an accompanying picture. The video format presentation had text on the screen. The audio format simply had a voice recording. Now, participants could request pictures to make the explanations clearer if they wanted to, but that was only on demand. So after, they were given an interview and a questionnaire on their cognitive style. They were asked about the complexity of the materials, the quality of the pictures retrieved, and they were evaluated on their behavior while browsing through the multimedia presentations. They were asked to justify their answers with metacognitive judgments. The SOLOT style of learning and thinking questionnaire was used to assess the analytic, systematic versus holistic, intuitive thinking style, comprehension of the multimedia presentation, and it was tested following Myers methodology. They were given a memory question and 2 problem-solving questions. And here we see the results. If you look under audio, fewer images were requested in the video condition, especially in the invisibility cloak presentation. So if you look at audio, you see the number is lower than if you look under visual. Metacognitive responses confirmed that these results, as participants regarded the invisibility cloak presentation, was easier in general than the Renaissance lute condition, and the invisibility cloak presentation was easier in the video condition. So what did this tell us? Well, it tells us that it was in line with some of the Myers theory principles, but not all. People do learn better when extraneous words, pictures, and sounds are excluded rather than included. People learn better from graphics and narration than from graphics, narration, and on-screen text. And there's the temporal contiguity principle. People learn better when corresponding words and pictures are presented simultaneously rather than successively. People also learn better from a multimedia lesson when they know the names and the characteristics of the main concepts. They learn better from graphics and narrations than from animation and on-screen text. And people learn better from words and pictures than just from words. So the conclusion is that participants appear to be self-regulate their learning while trying to learn from multimedia presentation. Cognitive styles only play a minor role, but the cognitive style is a promising path to promote metacognitive awareness and self-regulation. Both are important variables, and learners, though not completely aware of what they're doing and why, behave in a way which is for the most part consistent with their own cognitive style.